Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the SDG Pavilion here at COP27. My name is Ariel Alexevich. I'm with the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs, and I'm so delighted to be with Bertrand Piccard, the aviation pioneer and UN Environment Goodwill Ambassador. Bertrand, so let's get right into it. So to recap for our audience, in 2016, you did a flight with your airplane Solar Impulse flying on solar energy. Can you tell us what's new with you since then?
Well, you know what was fantastic was to do something that everybody considered was impossible and take only renewable energies, take only clean technologies, make a very energy efficient airplane and do what everybody thought was impossible. And flying with no noise, with no pollution, with no fuel, staying in the air as long as we wanted. You know, that was really a demonstration that today technology allows us to do much more than what we think.
Absolutely. And I think it's important that we're talking about renewable energy because we know that we have SDG, Sustainable Development Goal 13 on climate action, but really climate is throughout the whole SDG agenda, all 17 goals, including Goal 7 on clean energy. So Bertrand, I wonder, you have a commitment now to bringing with you the private sector into conversations about climate action. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yes. If you speak to climate activists, it's enough to tell we have to protect the planet. We need compassion for biodiversity. We need to protect life on Earth. But if you come to speak to the private sector or to politicians, it doesn't work that way, because the politicians are responsible of job creation and economical development, and the private sector is responsible about making profit for their shareholders. So you need to show basically that fighting climate change, protecting the environment, going into renewable energies, being energy efficient, all this is economically profitable. And this is the message that we are saying since years with a proof, because it's completely useless to claim something if we don't prove it. And this is why we have identified in the world until now more than 1,400 solutions that can protect the environment in an economically profitable way. And these solutions exist today. They are available for everyone. And this is what we want to really to promote and give the wish to people to use them.
Yeah, and are you finding that businesses are more receptive to these ideas about sustainability?
Yes, absolutely. When I look at the COP, what happens? The governments don't want to take ambitious NDCs because they believe that it will be detrimental for their economic development. They have absolutely not understood yet that it's exactly the other way around. But the private sector is very responsive to that because they know that protecting the environment is a way to offer new business opportunities. It's a way to save money if you are more energy efficient. It's a way to have cheaper energy with renewables. So they are much more enthusiastic to go in that direction. But what happens is that the governments still have regulations in place that are completely outdated, making sometimes obstacles for the new solutions to arrive on the market. You have solutions that are ready, but they are not allowed to be used. Like, for example, 100% recycled concrete, thanks to demolition waste. You have countries where you allow 5%, when big companies today know how to do it with 100% recycled concrete. So we need to work a lot to have people understand that these solutions can be used.
Yeah, we have to eliminate red tape as well from governments. We need better policies. So there has also been some movement by major airline carriers towards investment in solar energy. Do you think that's the legacy of Solar Impulse?
No, the legacy of Solar Impulse today is that after seeing all the aircraft manufacturers saying that it was impossible, there are now 600 industrial projects to have electric airplanes flying. So not necessarily with solar cells on the roof, on the wings, because you need too much a big surface, but to have the solar cells around the airports in order to charge the batteries on the ground. And Audrey Borschberg, my colleague from Solar Impulse, has a startup now electrifying the propulsion of airlines for 20-seaters, contract with Pratt & Whitney, with an airline in Vancouver. So things move quite well. Now, of course, it won't work with batteries, electric airplanes with batteries for long haul. You will need sustainable aviation fuel, you will need electro fuel, you will need hydrogen. And this is what is being experimented now, but we need to put it to scale. And meanwhile, we absolutely need to have the airlines introducing the cost of carbon emissions into the ticket for every passenger. Otherwise, aviation will still be the black sheep that is not doing its part.
Absolutely. And just finally, Bertrand, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience about what is driving you at this COP27?
What drives me at COP27 is the absolute frustration to hear all the time the same speeches since 20 years. You have heads of states, you have big officials making the list of the problems, and then they say, we have to act. And we think, wow, that's a good introduction, but it's not the introduction, it's the conclusion, and then they go sit. And the next one says the same thing again. It's ridiculous to say we have to act without saying what we have to do and how we have to do it. And this is what needs to change. This is why the Solar Impulse Foundation is here. We have 6 people. We desperately try to show that all the solutions to act exist, but now we just have to use them and implement them. And it is much less difficult than we think because solutions exist. And it's not the big cost that people think it will be because it's a profitable investment. If people understand that, then I'll be happy.
Thank you so much, Bertrand, for being here. And you heard him. It's time for meaningful promises, more action, not just the same speeches. So with that, we'll say goodbye, and please stay tuned for more content from the SDG Pavilion. Thank you.
Bye-bye.